I am at 120% capacity. I am overflowing with plants, and these need to get potted up. These need to take up even more space starting next week. So we really need to get outside cleaned up. These tomatoes, they are gonna need to take up 4 times the amount of space they currently are taking once I pot them up. And look how big they're getting. These need to get outside right away. But I also have all of this stuff. The entire outbuilding is filled to the brim, and this stuff needs to go outside. And perhaps most important of all, I have all of these seeds. It is time to plant now. We really need to get these seeds into the ground so that we will be ready to start harvesting come May. My entire farm looks like this. In the fall, we don't do any cleanup at all, so it all needs to get cleaned up this week so that I can get those seeds into the ground. And that means Ian has a very, very busy week ahead of him.
There is a lot of work for me to do. I have to pull up all the old plant material and then spread compost, till, do some raking, basically get everything looking perfect and ready to plant out. Also, some areas need to be seeded. I have a lot of work, and I'm definitely feeling the years in my body because moving compost isn't as easy as it used to be.
The flowers are blooming, the weather is beautiful, so this needs to get done. Ian, you need to get to work. We need to find our seeder because we need to get carrots and beets into the ground. The earthway for beets and the jang for carrots. Oh, they're heavy. My beets, all my beet seeds, my big old bag of cylindra.
And now it's time to do the least coolest job of them all. Time to go on a dump run. We recently finished a major reno to our outbuilding, and I think it looks amazing. I'm going to show it to all of you right now, and I'm sure you're going to love it. I think it's very, very personalized. You know, I can see so much of Serina and her like design influence in it, so check it out. Okay, here we go. Serina's special design element is plants. It's plants everywhere. Serina has this place crammed with plants. Good job cramming this place with plants, Serina.
This is only the beginning. If you think this is crammed with plants, just you wait. It's like every one of these turns into 6 of these. And come see this craziness. This is where the real magic happens. This is where I have thousands of plants. Thousands of plants. Just this shelf here. This one holds 800. So, there's a lot of plants in here. I am very much looking forward to this being the last year that we do this. I am very excited about the idea of having a heated greenhouse so we don't have to deal with this craziness. Because this, you know, I do agree, this is less than ideal. So you may think that this is the end of my plants, but it's not. I have the entire outbuilding filled. I even have the non-heated part of the outbuilding filled with plants. I hurt my back mixing potting soil every year because I always mix in some fertilizers and other bits and pieces in. So I said, no more of that. It's not worth it. I made Ian buy me a cement mixer. So now this is like perfect clean cement mixer. I load all my things in, it mixes, and then I have this set up. I just it's the perfect height for me. I just fill it, done, fill it. It's working pretty good so far. Over here, I have my ranunculus and anemones. I'm trying to get them to pre-sprout. I keep digging them up. It's been like a week. I keep digging them up, but no roots yet. Maybe because I keep digging them up, but I want to put these out. And then over here, this is all my cool weather stuff. I got some Chantilly snapdragons, and then up here I got some Rudbeckia, some, what's the name of this one? Indian summer Rudbeckia. And then my least favorite, I hate them, they're the worst. I have my Lisianthus. But I gotta say, looking at this now, a couple of these are getting their second set of true leaves. I have one single Lisianthus right here that looks happy and healthy. Ian's saying that plants isn't actually exciting and that apparently I should talk about something actually design and actually exciting. Obviously he's wrong. Obviously plants are the most exciting thing. But we are talking about painting a mural on this wall here. You know, the space already looks amazing. Just getting it white and clean, but we're talking about doing like a Okanagan kind of blues and yellows and like an ochre, you know, kind of this really Okanagan palette of the bright punchy blues of the lakes and the skies, and then the dead grass hills of the summer. So I'm really excited about it. I'm like super in love with having like a million face masks because I'm not the best about wearing face masks, but it makes a huge difference. Potting soil, like you're not supposed to work with this potting soil or fertilizers or any of that stuff without having some sort of dust mask on. And I find that this time of year, because I'm working with so much and it's so dusty outside, that I start to feel irritated. And this year I feel amazing, even though I'm going through, my pile of empty soil bags is mounding up. So I'm definitely working with a lot of potting soil. So
I've been really loving having so many of these. And I can, you know, after a day of working in it, when it's dusty, it just goes into the washing machine, and then I have like 20 others, so I never run out. My little cat friends. Look how good things are looking in here, huh? Oh, careful. It looks like weeds, but there's some flowers in there. Yeah. But look at this! Look, these sad little ranunculus that I bought and then killed. They've bloomed. Isn't that beautiful? Aren't they so pretty? This needs water. These are some Icelandic poppies. Ian, you're killing my plants with your big man boots. What's this? This is anise hyssop. This is supposed to be mountain mint. There's one. Oh no, okay, yeah, there's some stuff in here. Starting. I seeded these in January, and I put them out here. And the idea with these is there's this concept of winter sowing, which is you put them outside in milk jugs in the winter, and then they freeze, thaw, like what they would normally do, and then they grow up, and there's no world in which I'm gonna mess around with milk jugs, and also what a pain in the butt to transplant them. So what I did instead is I put them into seedling trays, because if the theory works, and then I stuck them in this giant milk jug called my greenhouse. And so these would have germinated a lot earlier if I had them inside, but then I'd have to fuss with them. They've basically been out here. I've been doing nothing. I think I've watered them 2 or 3 times at this point, and now they're growing, and they'll be in plugs, right? So I can just pop them out and transplant them. Coming up pretty soon here, once the really hard cold overnight is past. We're getting close. We had -6 the night before last. I just checked. Last night got down to -3. We still have a lot of, you know, -6 to to -3 kind of things in the next week. But come April, these cold hardy things probably can get put outside. So very exciting. And super exciting, all this stuff in here. I have an entire video about what I've done in here that I've been filming bits and pieces for since last August, because this is my grand experiment, and I think I can safely say some of it worked and some of it didn't. My mom bought me that pansy.
Back to chorin'.
Yep. super excited. These are all the ranunculus and a tray of anemones that we soaked, and then we got into this potting soil in this cool garage of ours. And we think it's been about 2 weeks now. And I've been unsure if anything was happening down here, but look at this. There is growth, there's green, it's starting to sprout. This is exactly what is supposed to happen. I am supposed to be keeping these just barely damp, you know, fairly dry, fairly cool. They do this, and that means that they are ready to get planted out really soon. So I'm excited. I lift this tray, which has the most green. There's a little bit of roots. There are this variety here. This, I haven't seen anything happening with this one yet, and nothing popping up yet on the anemones. But yes, all of these Amidine ranunculus are doing something, and those are the expensive and the fancy ones. So those are the ones that I'm the most worried about. So very exciting to see actual progress on this. We are one step closer to getting actual flowers.
I finally have all the compost spread on the beds, so I'm ready to till at this point. But I figured I'd just quickly go over how we prep our beds. So we're still tilling. We're hoping that this is the last year that we have to till as much as we do. And once we stop tilling, then this process is gonna change. But right now, basically what I do is I get all the old plant material out of the beds, and then I pile up all the compost that I want on each bed, and then I kind of just roughly spread it out. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's gonna get tilled. And then I till it, and then I get a string line with all these little stakes, and I run a string line across, and then I just walk out the path for each bed. And then I get my rake, and I rake out the paths. I bring some of that material back up onto the beds. And then final step, I just smooth it out with the backside of the big rake. And then that's what we call, you know, a finished, fully prepped bed. Serina, I got it all done. The farm is totally prepped and it looks so good. Check out this drone footage.